Now whip it. Easy shape. Shape it
That's
up.
with the Whip It song.
Yeah.
Well, the big question this morning is, are you ready? Because you, as you know, committed to losing weight on the show last week.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of steamrolled. And it's
What do
now
you mean
beyond
steamrolled?
it's now beyond your control, and it's happening. Are you ready?
Laughing at the fat guy.
Hey,
Steamroll.
I actually think you look good.
Oh.
But obviously it all comes down to how you feel,
Yeah.
and you decided you wanted to do this.
Well
so
covered
we're
up.
on board.
So 10 kilos in 10 weeks is what I want to try and do. And in the Today Show kitchen, we have Dr. Nick Fuller here, who was with us last week when I made that, extraordinary commitment, didn't I?
You did.
Yeah.
You did, on air.
One of the biggest parts of it, obviously, is diet. With these hours that we do and the workload, we can mess up a little bit in terms of diet. What's your advice?
Yeah, last week you announced you wanted to lose some weight, and off air as well, you told me you wanted to lose it properly this time.
Yeah.
You didn't want to regain the weight. You were, you know about the science and work I do at the University of Sydney, so you downloaded the Interval Weight Loss online program. You've got the app on your phone. Now it's all about making you accountable over the next 10 weeks. Educating the viewers and yourself about the 6 steps to long-term weight loss success and those principles of interval weight loss, so that each week we go through each one, make it fun and interactive, you follow it, you be accountable, and you lose some of that weight that you're wanting to lose. But importantly, we keep the weight off so that when we catch up a few years down the track, you're still 10 kilos lighter. So down or along the journey, we'll also educate, I guess, the viewers on the weight loss science and how the body works when you lose weight. Because typically, we can all lose weight, remember, but what happens? We put it back on.
And typically then put more on as a result
Exactly.
of it, don't we? So you've come up with 6 principles that we can all follow. Can you run us through them?
Yeah, so I guess over the next 10 weeks, what we're going to be doing is educating the viewers on how to retrain the brain and prevent that emotional comfort eating, reaching for the treats, the processed foods, understanding how the brain works, but also learning how much food we should be putting into the body. So we don't have to worry about calorie counting, weighing out grams of food, because all of that gets a little bit too complicated. And also we know it's not sustainable, but also other things like improving our sleep and then incorporating activity that's sustainable and fun. So we'll get Carl out there doing some sprints.
You also, one of the interesting principles is to reverse when you're eating most, from dinner being a big meal to being a very small meal. In fact, you eat it with your chopsticks at night. As a principle, to explain that.
Yeah, so this is the first principle that we should be kicking off this week. Everyone to get some chopsticks or an oyster fork teaspoon. Your biggest meal of the day should be breakfast. This is when you should be loading up and eating the majority of your volume. You taper off throughout the day, and then you have dinner as your smallest meal of the day. So a small rice bowl like this, or a bread and butter sized plate, using chopsticks, because that slows down your eating habits. It allows time for signals to be sent from your stomach to your brain to tell you you're full, because typically we have it the wrong way around. We rush out the door, we don't eat until lunch, and then we get to the end of the day and we overeat.
It does work.
And like Carl here,
It works.
But you know what? I think
does.
one of the problems when people go on diets is they cut everything good out.
Yes.
And so, sugar is the big thing. Is
Yeah.
there anything in this diet plan that you've put together that allows for a treat?
Definitely, we should be having all foods. If you want to enjoy the alcohol, enjoy the treats, you can still have those. But it's about getting down to once a week with, the snakes or the chips or the chocolates.
Right.
And you can retrain your brain so that we wean ourselves off them slowly. And that will be one of those principles we're introduce over the 10 weeks.
So you get a cheat date. So the idea is if you can eat those lollies with a chopstick, you can have one.
Same with your takeaways
All
and dining out meals. Same sort of thing. We have those once a week on the weight loss.
Yeah, I think it's important in life. It is pretty embarrassing, and I have to admit that, to go and say, all right, I'm going to weigh myself on national TV. And I think people out there probably would be aware of that, and even weighing yourself in front of another person. It's something that's done in your bathroom.
It takes a lot of courage to do this, Carl, and I commend you for that. And now
You don't have
it is
to, by
about
the
being
way.
accountable.
Like, it has to be.
I'm not that upset about it.
No, but you only do. Oh, he's straight on.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think we should log that into your app as well. So
Now,
what
obviously,
do we
I've
have
got
there?
105 kilos.
We do?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's all right. We're doing that to.
Obviously, I've got a lot of clothes on.
Yep.
Well, let's keep it that way.
And I've got microphone packs.
Okay, so 105.
So we've got 105 now in your interval weight loss app. This is what we need to track just once a week. Remember, no more than that. The day-to-day.
And do I do a
fluctuations
weigh-in
mean
with just
nothing.
my undies on at some point?
You should probably just do Yes, with no clothes or
Send us an
underwear.
email if
Yeah.
you'd like to see that.
Yeah, and have it just the same time, same day each week.
Yeah.
But you can also do that on air, so we are making you, remember, accountable, and everyone
Yeah.
else can go on that journey with you.
Yeah.
And this is all about long term. We're not just looking for that quick fix over 10 weeks, and it's not the all or nothing approach. We can always do that. That's easy. This is
Yeah.
longer term.
What do you got to get rid of in your cupboard, you reckon?
I don't have to get rid of anything, but I've got other people staying with me, like my mother-in-law.
Don't blame your mother-in-law. Don't you dare
Morning,
blame your
Shez.
mother-in-law.
We eat pretty well. I don't think I'm a bad eater.
It's just one thing
yeah.
we're focusing on this week, big to
Yeah,
small.
yeah.
Sitting down with the chopsticks
Yeah.
there. Send through your photos and your videos, Carl. We want to see the viewers doing it too.
Yeah.
Hashtag Carl's Interval Weight Loss Challenge.
Yes, and
Come
get
on, let's
into
get
it.
everyone behind this.
Well, everyone's been in isolation, and so
Definitely.
everyone
It's
sort of
now
feels a bit funny about themselves. So let's try.
We've been stacking on weight during
Yeah.
COVID. Everyone's 2 kilos heavier. We
Yeah.
have time to reverse that and lose that
Yeah.
weight.
Let's lose
Good
a
on you,
country,
Carl.
people. Let's lose a country.
Well, we're all doing it with you. We're on board, the
We
whole
are.
team, so you're
Yeah.
not doing this alone.
I
and
don't
of course,
feel alone.
we want everyone at home to do it. And if you do want to come along for the ride and help out, our friends at Rexona, they're giving away 10 vouchers
This is
valued
good.
at $2,500 each. So the money can be used on anything from fitness equipment to workout clothes. You simply head to Today's Show website for our information.